All right, what's going on, guys? Try back again here to bring you another video. This one will be doing another Walking Dead video leading up to the second half for The Walking Dead Season 10, our first for the year. Happy New Year to everyone out there. And this one we'll give our thoughts first on the mid-season premiere being called Squeeze, and Jerry being a rather, well, big burly type of fellow. All right, so Happy New Year to all of you guys. Hope you had a good New Year's Eve last night, and we're in 2020, yay! So that makes it officially 10 years, I suppose, of Walking Dead since the series started in 2010, and now we're in 2020. So still going on strong, and looking forward to this year since we're going to be getting lots of new episodes, lots of new content to go over. And I'm going to try to review like one other series, maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like that as we go through for the foreseeable future here. So this one I thought was pretty good. The mid-season premiere is actually called Squeeze. With them being in the cave and everything, and Angela Kang has kind of said she said, we trapped a bunch of people in a cave full of walkers, so we had to tell that story. So that's definitely going to be a big part of when we pick back up. So they're all trapped in this cave that Alpha's masterminded them into, with Carol's angst driving her recklessly into chasing after her. Right? It's a trap, and it was, and so they get caught in the squeeze, so the cave. So we've never seen survivors trapped in a cave before in Walking Dead. So this is new territory, I suppose, right? So this one I thought of right away because we saw the trailer for the back half of the season, and pretty much as soon as we saw that, everybody was saying like, oh man, Jerry looks like he's kind of in a tight spot there, right? So will Jerry be killed off? This whole kind of thing. Well, now that the mid-season premiere title has been named as Squeeze, I'm starting to think like, yeah, that's probably going to happen, which is kind of sad because I like Jerry. I think he's really fun, and Cooper Andrews plays him, right? He's, it makes sense too. If the title is called Squeeze, like they're in a cave and they're trying to get through some tight spots, does it make sense that your bigger guy who's like, I don't know how much Cooper Andrews weighs as Jerry, probably like what, like I'm like 190, so he's probably like 230 or maybe 240, something like that. Maybe a little, like, camera sometimes makes people look bigger. Maybe 220, something like that. But anyway, he's a bigger guy, and he's trying to get through these tight spots in this cave, and they're trying to squeeze through. Maybe there's a spot at which Jerry's not able to fit, right? It's unfortunate, but maybe they ate a little bit too much at the Kingdom. I don't know. However that came to be. So that sucks, man, because he's a jolly fellow, right? And if that's the way things go, well, I guess as we go through, it's Walking Dead, people are going to die, but it's kind of sad, but it makes sense to me. So that's kind of the prediction or the thing that I thought at first when I heard the title. I was like, oh, Squeeze. It's like, okay, tight spots, Jerry's a bigger guy, it looks like in the trailer he might be killed off, so that's what it is. So then there was a German Comic Con in Dortmund, I don't know, where he admitted that this episode, the mid-season premiere, was the hardest he's filmed. So he says, quote, physically the next episode, that was hard. He said it's dark and it's hard to see in the dark as an actor. I can't tell you any more than that. So yeah, that's all. Next episode. So he's a bit guarded with talking about the episode. So it makes sense to me. Sometimes they put stuff in trailers and stuff that's like misdirection that we don't get to see actually in the episodes. But with this one, I just look at it and I tend to think like, yeah, that it all makes too much sense. So brace yourselves if you're fans of Jerry. That might be what we're seeing. Maybe him getting into a tight squeeze and not being able to fit through, but the rest being able to kind of move through, and him getting stuck in a spot and unfortunately being, I guess, devoured by walkers. So, sucks. Oh well. And that's the difference, I think, between Walking Dead now and when it first started. Like, when it first started off, we were all excited to see character deaths. We're like, oh, shocking, oh my god, crazy, right? And nowadays, after so many seasons of having the same ones, because he's been in the show since, what, season 7? So it's quite a while, so you get attached. And maybe with him specifically, because he's such a good guy, if that's what they do, it's going to be kind of sad. But, it's the nature of the series, so what are you going to do that's just how it is. That's just what it is. And then we did get a new picture of Michonne and a few new details about her. It looks like it says the pictures from the mid-season premiere, so maybe we will actually get to see Michonne in a few more episodes. Still, maybe like the mid-season premiere and then some of the others afterwards. It says here that the logline goes on, quote, with the Whisper War upon them, the collective communities must come together and possibly sacrifice all they have to find a way to silence the Whisperers once and for all. Otherwise, Alpha will ensure they face a certain doom. So Michonne goes out with Virgil to find some weapons that she can bring back to use against the Whispers, right? And so we have this picture here of them maybe looking for weapons or traveling to this possibly naval base or island or wherever it is they're going to go to here. And of course, expect to see some twists and turns, I would think. And, is Virgil telling the truth about what he's saying? I'm not sure, but of course they're going to want to give her a nice kind of ending. How's the whole thing going to go? And what do you guys think about this one? We're getting closer to it, but they've done a pretty good job of keeping this under wraps with Michonne's fate, whether she'll actually somehow survive and have to leave, or whether she'll actually be killed off. I'm almost thinking now maybe they're just going to kill her off because she's kind of in a weird spot for her to kind of leave with her kids back there. I wonder if there's any way they can make this work to where she would leave for some other reason, unless she actually is just simply killed off or trapped or something like this. I just don't know, like trapped on an island or something. I have no idea, man. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. That's about the best I can do for now. They kill her off, they trap her somewhere. Otherwise, how would she ever leave her kids back home? I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense in almost any other way. So we'll see what they figure out for her, and I would expect to kind of see that maybe in the next, few episodes of The Walking Dead season 10, like probably by around season 12, 13, like the first half of the second half. Something like that, third quarter of the season, something like that. So we do have a few questions for today, and you guys can keep sending me your questions through for videos for Walking Dead. I'm probably only going to be doing like three or four a week going forward, or maybe even 2 a week, something like that, until we get the series kind of closer. So, until we start getting more stuff for the series, unless there's any big kind of news items and stuff like that. We did a top 10 best episodes of the decade. I might do a top 10 worst episodes of the decade next week, so heads up for that if you're kind of interested in seeing that. And by saying top 10 of the decade, it just means all the episodes we've had so far. like The Walking Dead is 10 years old, and it's the end of the decade, so it's like, yeah, it's what it is. But it's just the best episode so far. So if you missed that video, it was on Sunday. You can definitely check it out. It's in the channel right now, and it's pretty damn good. It's fun to look back and decide like, okay, which episodes are the best, and it's based on overall critic and fan review scores, not just on my opinion, right? So it's kind of cool. And we'll go through the worst episodes too, maybe soon. But Still's not on it, so it affects my motivation to do it when Still's not on the list. Kind of pisses me. I was like, it should be there. Can't be just me. Arthur Morgan says, do you think Eugene is a virgin? So probably. How old would Eugene be in The Walking Dead? Is he about 40 or something like that? Probably something like that, right? And I would think he probably would be, because he's kind of socially awkward, right? And he's obviously extremely intelligent, which really... Does being very, very intelligent help you with that? I don't think it does, actually. As a matter of fact, it might even be a negative. I'm not sure. I have to look at the data for that, but it might even be negative to be extremely like Eugene level smart when it comes to hooking up with people. So is he a virgin? He probably is, yeah. And I know a few people that did pass the age of 40. That were. Obviously won't mention their names because that's kind of sucks. I'm the one who collects action figures, but, no. I like when I was 18 or something. And Abdul Tiff says, the last scene of the show should be Rick reuniting with Judith at Alexandria. That's a good movie, by the way, if you guys haven't seen 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah, the last scene should be Rick reuniting with Judith. Yeah, man, that would be good. Like to have a final scene of the series, like Rick and Judith being reunited. At the very end, would it be at Alexandria? Like Rick reaching home. If they do 3 movies, then that would make a lot of sense. Or anything like that. If they have the group reunited, if Alexandria falls, and then that's why when Rick eventually comes back there, Alexandria is toast. That would make sense, and if the group has to move somewhere else, that might be something they might think of doing is destroy Alexandria, have Alpha and the Whispers total Alexandria, and have Daryl and the group move somewhere else, so that even when Rick does return after all these years later in the movie, it's destroyed. and then somehow at the end of the movies or something, he just happens to run into Daryl and the others and be like, OMG, and then see Judith or something like that, and then you kind of end off the series like that. Or end off the movie like that. Something like that, if it's the second or third movie or whatever. Daryl Dixon says, hey, Trev, have you ever met any of the Walking Dead cast? So, no, I haven't. Pretty much, I'm insane. So, basically what that means is I just have sat here in this chair with you guys for like the last 10 years straight. Every week that there's a new episode of Walking Dead on, I don't think I've ever missed a review every single time. And but one day I do want to go to Comic Con before The Walking Dead ends at some point, at least one time, at least once before The Walking Dead ends. So if season 12 was the last season or something, or 11, then maybe I could do it then. It's just a flight, it'd be like maybe an 8-hour flight there or longer or something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked exactly, but San Diego, and it's expensive too, right? So to stay there and everything. So I've never done it, but want to do it before the series ends at least once, I think. So maybe I will. I'll let you guys know if I decide to do that, if I do. But no, I haven't, man, as crazy as that sounds. But that's because I've been here doing this with you guys instead of getting to go to the cons and stuff like that, which one day I hope I get to do before it's too late. Hunter Snow says, hey, John, did you see that Madison has a show on FX, I think? She's a sheriff. Any thoughts? That kind of confirms she's not returning to Fear the Walking Dead. Well, they did the whole Phoenix thing on the tree, Rise Again, the whole thing. I've given my thoughts on this one thing a few times. I think she's moved on. I don't foresee her returning to Fear anytime. I don't think she will. I don't think we'll ever see her, again. I think we were to interpret that last scene in that episode as her demise, and they kind of confirmed that on Talking Dead after. So if they were to go back on that, that'd be kind of tricky. So I think they're mostly just messing with fans. And then the last one will be, which is fine. You can do that too, right? That's what it is. Dark Tree Guy says, hey, Trev, do you remember whatever happened to that casting of Marie Bello? Do you remember that? Either her moment flew over my head or that was fake news. It's been about 3 years since we heard that news. Do you think there's still a chance that she will appear in the show? So no, I think that was something that was announced, and then maybe it fell through or something like that happened. You guys know how it goes. Like, sometimes they'll think like, maybe they hire someone for a certain thing and then the person has to back out of it or whatever happens, that kind of thing. There was some rumors that maybe she might play Alpha, that kind of thing. But I think Samantha Morton has done as good of a job as playing Alpha as is humanly possible, probably, I think. Basically perfect as Alpha. So, I think it's just one of those. Yes, you're right. I do remember that Dark Tree Guy, but I think it was just one of those where they maybe hired somebody and it was announced, and then it fell through or it got canceled before something like that happened. Unless she was kind of in the series as like a background character, and we don't remember, that type of thing. So anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Let me know what you think and what are your predictions for Jerry and for Michonne. How do you think Michonne will go out? As time goes by, I'm almost leaning more towards maybe they'll just kill her off. And unfortunately for Jerry too, maybe that's what the tight squeeze is all about. If you liked this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, you can subscribe to the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.